Let's be real. With things like vaccinations and even just routine checkups, facing a needle is pretty much a part of life. But for millions of people, that simple idea is absolutely terrifying. So in this explainer, we're going to demystify needle phobia. We'll unpack a practical toolkit to help you manage it and, most importantly, put you back in the driver's seat.
I mean, really, does your heart start racing? Do your palms get all sweaty? Do you just get this overwhelming urge to turn and run the other way at the mere thought of an injection?
If that sounds like you, the very first thing you need to know is you are so not alone. This is incredibly common. It is not a sign of weakness, not at all. It's a recognized, understandable reaction. And you know what? We're about to break down exactly why it happens.
To really get a handle on this, we first have to understand what we're actually dealing with. So, what's the line between just a regular fear and a full-blown phobia? A phobia isn't just, being scared of something. It's this intense, often overwhelming fear that can feel totally out of proportion to the actual danger. And here's the real kicker. It actively makes people rearrange their whole lives just to avoid whatever it is they're afraid of.
And when we're talking about needles, the numbers are pretty staggering. Somewhere between 3.5% and 10% of the entire population deals with this. So think about it. If you're in a room with, say, 20 people, there's a good chance at least 1 or 2 of them feel the exact same way you do.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. Not all needle phobias are created equal. Figuring out your specific reaction is the very first step to finding the right strategy to manage it. So let's break down the 4 main types.
Okay, so this table lays it all out. The most common one, and this affects about half of everyone who has this phobia, is the vasovagal type. That's the one that can make you feel faint. Then there's associative, which usually stems from a bad experience in the past. Resistive is all about a fear of losing control, and hyperalgesic is a genuine inherited hypersensitivity to pain. And yeah, it's totally possible to have a mix of these.
So for that super common vasovagal type, it's crucial to understand what's happening inside your body. See, a typical fear response, fight or flight, it revs everything up. Heart rate goes up, blood pressure goes up. But the vasovagal reaction is weird. Your body revs up, and then it slams on the brakes. Hard. That sudden, dramatic drop in your heart rate and blood pressure, that's what causes the dizziness and the fainting. It's a real physiological event, not just something that's all in your head.
Okay, now that we know what we're looking at, let's start building your personal toolkit for calm. The key here is matching the right strategy to your specific reaction. We're going to cover some amazing tools that work for each of these 4 types.
All right, before we dive into any specific techniques, this one is for everybody. This is the single most important thing you can do, no matter what. Just say it. Tell the nurse, tell the doctor, hey, I have a phobia of needles. I promise you they have seen it 1,000 times. They can help you lie down or just give you a second to get ready. Communication is your first, and honestly, your best tool.
Now, if you're someone who identified with that vasovagal or fainting response, this technique is a total game changer. It's called applied tension. By tensing up your muscles like this, you're actively keeping your blood pressure from dropping. You are literally fighting back against that sudden crash we just talked about. Practicing this for a few days before your appointment can make a world of difference.
Okay, next up is a strategy that sounds almost too simple to actually work. But stick with me. This number, 40%, represents how much you can potentially reduce pain with just one simple action. That's right, smiling. This is an especially powerful tool if you have that hyperalgesic type, the inherited sensitivity to pain. But we're not talking about just any smile. A Duchenne smile. That's the real, genuine kind that engages the muscles around your eyes and makes them crinkle up. This physical act can literally trick your brain into feeling less pain. So when you're in that chair, give it your biggest, goofiest, most genuine smile you can muster.
Your brain can't focus intensely on 2 things at once. It's just not how it's wired. So let's use that to our advantage. This is a fantastic strategy for the associative type, where that past trauma is the trigger. By actively forcing your mind to focus on something else, you help break that old connection. It's also great for the resistive type because it gives you something you can control, your own attention, right when you feel like you're losing control of everything else.
These techniques are all about calming your nervous system directly, which is useful for every type of phobia, but especially for the intense anxiety that comes with associative and resistive fears. For the 7-11 breathing, the trick is making the exhale longer than the inhale. That's what triggers your body's relaxation response.
Or you can try the visualization trick. Picture someone you know who's totally calm in these situations and just mentally step into their shoes. It's like borrowing their confidence for a minute.
So there we have it. We've defined the fear, we've understood the different ways it shows up, and now we've built a whole toolkit of practical, targeted strategies. Let's bring it all together.
This is the crucial takeaway. A phobia can make you feel completely powerless, right? Like your own body is betraying you. But by understanding why your body is reacting the way it is, and by arming yourself with the right tools for your specific situation, you completely change the game. You go from being a passenger on a scary ride to being the pilot.
The power is officially in your hands now. You've got applied tension for fainting, the wild power of a smile for pain, distraction for past trauma, and focused breathing for anxiety. Knowledge is a great first step, but action is what really makes the change. So, the only question left is, which one of these tools are you going to try first?